you doing, people? It's Ritchie for Anti-Corruption Scotland. I'm here once again with Robess, and I've got a couple of things to speak about today once again. Hope it's good information for you. Robert, cashless society, it's creeping up on us pretty fast. Can you just give us a wee bit of what you've looked into here?
Well, the thing of the matter is, it's not just about cashless society, it's about digital programming currency, which is serious implications for the people. People think it's great to walk into a shop with a smartwatch and go bleep, pay their bill.
Yep.
People think it's great to walk into a shop with their phone and go bleep, pay their bill.
Yep.
Well, it's going to bypass that now, people, because they're now changing to smart cash on your phone. That means you're not going to have any credit or direct debit cards, and you're not going to have cash. And the scenario here is you're losing your rights and freedoms because they're going to control how this works. This is why they want the digital cash, because it's one currency through the world, like the same as one government, one court system, one benefit system, the same as China. If you're being good people and doing what you're told like slaves, you get privileges. You don't get rights and you don't get your freedoms. Now, I've seen an interesting video. I put it on my Facebook page, and for some reason it's disappeared, right? And I was shocked when I seen this. I knew what was coming, but when I seen the extent of what they're going to do with us, you people really have to waken up and pay attention. We have to start a campaign to keep cash. That's why the supermarkets like Asda, Tesco's and Morrison's right now are pulling in all these cashless jackets, and they're stealing your identity with the cameras. And one of the lame excuses I heard in Asda was that the reason your face is on the scanners in case you try to steal something. Well, that's a load of nonsense, because when you go to the door, there's scanners on the door. So as soon as you walk through that, it's going to bleep anyway. So they're telling lies. As I keep saying, everybody in the legal system, legal society are liars, and I verify that. Now, the implications is, I'll give you an example from the video, people. I go to Argos to buy a £50 gift for my daughter. I can pay half of it with a card and pay the other half cash, or pay it cash, right? Now, in the current system, we are protected. Nobody knows who is doing what's doing. It's just the way it works. That's why they don't know the information. They only know the bank is transferring cash to another bank. So you're safe. It's not traceable to come back to you, right? But with this new system, what happens is they've got a big computer, a central bank computer. It takes everybody's data, everything that you do, everywhere you go, and stores that information, and it can never be amended. It's right to the key word. Now, that way, they know who's getting what, and when the bank transfer's done, it's done right away. But in the present system, when the transfer's done, it's a day later that the other bank receives it. But I've seen transactions going through, and when I seen the video, I couldn't understand that, but I'm kind of getting the gist. It tells you it's left the account, but that's the bit that confused me. But when the other bank system comes in, it's going to tell you right there and then, and it's done. Now, the consequences of this digital currency. Now, another example I seen in the video, say for instance we have an unlawful lockdown, and you've got a mile radius in your area. You've got to stay within that mile radius. If I decided to go to Argos 2 miles away, what happens is when I go to buy something and pay for it with the digital currency, they know I'm outside that boundary. This is how precise this is, people. This is how precise this is. And they stop that purchase. They block it. They shut your account down. Now that might sound, so what? Shouldn't be outside the boundary. You should have the right to go and do what you want. The second point is, right, it takes it to another level. It's my understanding with the fossil fuel carry-on, as you know, people, they're trying to do away with the petrol, they're trying to do away with the diesel, and they're trying to do away with all cars. What's only to certain things. What they're going to do to limit the fossil fuel situation is they're going to allocate you maybe 15 units per week. That's all you're going to be allowed. Say, for instance, that you're going to go over the 15 litres per week, and you go to a garage and you try to get fuel, you're not going to get the transaction. It's going to shut down because you've used your limit. It's like obesity. People that's overweight, they can also determine if you're buying too many sugary things with us, because all your information's on this one database, and that's the problem. They're controlling the people, right? If you go and buy too many sugary things in 1 week, what happens is they shut your account down. How bad is that, people? It's also the same as lockdown. If you go to travel outside your boundary of 1 mile and you go outside the boundary, you go to pay for the train or a taxi or whatever you're going to, the bus, whatever you're going to get, it shuts down. You can't do nothing. So your life isn't your life anymore. Your life is a privilege. And that's why it's important that the people take stock of what I'm doing. I'm actually going to find this video again, people. I'm going to do a live with it, and I'm going to run it for 8 hours, but I'm going to do a talk on it before I put it up. And please, people, look at this video. This is deadly serious. Your life is about to change like it's never changed before. You think you're being controlled now? Wait till this kicks in. We cannot allow it. These people and these corporations that's controlling your life. The men and women that represent these corporations don't have that power. They don't have that authority, and they don't have that jurisdiction. Please, people, listen to people like Ritchie, myself, and other truthers that's out there. We are trying to give you information to protect your rights and your families, right? It's like if I'm having a gathering like we did on the 8th of October, Saturday, and people are going to turn up to that. They know, and they can shut your account down to travel. This is how precise this is, people. It's a one bank. All the banks are linking up to one central computer worldwide, and everybody's going to be controlled. And that's a fact. That's why they're pushing smart meters, smartphones, smart watches, electric cars. Think about it. They can shut you down because there's a chip in that car. The manufacturer will have a code in that car that can shut you down. And people are looking forward to getting chips in their fingers and in their hands. That's not advisable, people. If they can shut a meter down, because they did it to me a couple of weeks ago, I put money in to the meter, a code came up, D4 code, and I contacted the service corporation to ask them what that was, and it says that the key was faulty. I know the key wasn't faulty, because it was a new key I got 2 months prior. They put the credit on the new key and gave me a code to go, and when I came back with a new key, the code went in. This is how they can shut you down, every aspect of your life. Everything with smart meters, smartphones, smart watches. You're being spied on, people. They're profiling you. They're taking your data. They're taking your information. They're taking everything from you and you don't even know it. They're not even giving you full disclosure. And they're holding secret files on the people, and we can't allow that. It's diabolical. So what I'm going to do, people, watch it shortly. I'm going to do a wee talk, just a 2-minute talk, and put this video up. It'll be on my Facebook page, and it'll be live. Look at this video and pay attention, people. The other thing as well that I found out as well through this video was that people on benefits, you have 2 months to spend your benefit for the time that you get it. Once your benefit oversees that period of time, if you still get benefit for the last payment, you lose it. That's how bad this is, people. Please, I verify this in private capacity, under full personal liability, even under a charge of perjury anywhere in the corporation known as United Kingdom. This is deadly serious. We the people have to keep cash. We the people have to stop using Asda, Tesco that's using cashless machines and try to get you to go digital. We have to avoid them, boycott them, go back to the community shops, because these people are going to suffer as well. They're going to lose their businesses, people. Detrimental effect. It's all about control. And if you think your life is bad now, if this comes in, they're actually talking about doing away with cash in the next 3 years. I thought that my estimated time would be 5 years, but they're really pushing this, people. Don't be deceived with these criminals at the highest level, paid liars. There's another topic here that we want to kind of point people in direction to. Ritchie's came across it. He's known about it for some time, but we're going to bring it up. Human augmentation.
Human augmentation.
And this has serious implications for the men or women, people. Now we're going scientific, really scientific. And this is where the chips and all that come in. On you go, Ritchie.
So, as I've said before, this was 2021. This information came out. It was put on the government website. So it's actually on .gov.uk. And if you go to .gov.uk, there's a search box comes up. If you type in human augmentation, then there's going to be a brief description that comes up. Now, I've printed out the brief description here at the moment because the other document in relation to human augmentation is actually something like 106 pages long. So, unpractical for me to print it out, bring it here and talk about it. So, this is just a heads up. This is a heads up for people to go and research this themselves.
And know what's happening.
Aye, don't take our word for it that we're telling the truth, because we might not be. We might be lying to you. What we are saying is, go and have a look at it yourself. I'm giving you a place on the government's website, of all places. It's there. Go and look at it. But I'm going to read just one paragraph for this brief description, because it coincides with what you're saying about a cashless society. And then I've also got another document here, which I want to verify in private capacity under full personal liability, because this document is a patent, and it relates to the cashless society, and it relates to the human augmentation. These things that we're talking about here, these three elements, the cashless society, the human augmentation, and this patent here, are all the same thing. They're all going to work together. So the paragraph I'm going to read is: human augmentation technologies provides a broad sense of opportunities for today and in the future. There are a mature technology that could be integrated today with manageable policies and considerations, such as personalised nutrition, which you spoke about there, wearables and exoskeletons. Now, this is the important part of this. There are other technologies in the future with promises of bigger potentials, such as genetic engineering and brain-computer interface. That's vital. I'm going to say that again, Robert, right? There are other technologies in the future with promises of bigger potentials, such as genetic engineering. That sounds like,
the body's going to be modified with chips.
It's going to be modified, right? And the brain-computer interface. Now, all computers, as far as I know, work with chips, right? So to connect the brain to the body, the brain to the interface, or the operating system, it's going to need a chip, right? Now, I'm going to move you into 2020, okay, when a patent for a chip was placed, all right? And this patent is it's an international publication number, which is WO, but if you just type in to a search box 2020/060606, it will come up with this patent, right? So just type into Google the patent number and type that in, and this will come up. Now, the 060606 thing,
Mark of the beast.
it sounds okay. If you're hearing this for the first time, all I'm saying is, listen to what Robert said initially in this video, listen to what I've said about the human augmentation, and listen to what we're saying about this chip. These three things go together. It's all to do with AI, artificial intelligence. Now, it would cost them billions to build loads of robots, but if they think they can stick a chip in a human being
Control the mind.
and control them that way, and control their finances and everything else, then that's what they would do. Now, it's vital for people to know with this 2020/060606 patent, that this patent applicant was actually Microsoft Technologies. It's coming back to Bill Gates again. You know the guy that was a computer expert? I think he's a farmer now. Right, he thinks he's a farmer now, buying all this land and going, getting his own seeds and all the rest of it, right? Why is he doing all this? Why are these people trying to pull in so much control? But it's important.
It's to do with the Agenda 2020 to 2030, depopulation. They want what's viable. They don't want people sick. They don't want elderly. Or people that's got disabilities.
It's just a non-rhetoric question to the people out there. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to spark in the viewers' minds.
To waking up.
And it seems very pedantic saying to waking up. We don't mean to be rude,
But you need to wake
But
up fast pace because
aye,
it's getting
you
it's
just,
just deadly.
You just need to learn about what's actually out there. I'm giving you a document here. If people don't believe it and want to call me a conspiracy theorist,
Go on the website.
this is the government's website. This is the government's information.
Right.
Do you
And
know,
what
it's
the
a corporation. They don't care about you.
point I would like to make here as well, people, this is how the trickery starts. They talk about passing bills. It takes time to pass bills. And what they do is they string it out and string it out. They bring it up, they let it go. They bring it up, they let it go. And then when it's getting near the final step, they make a big issue of it. The point being is this is how they escape liability. This is how you don't get the information, because they'll say it was on the government website. But the government website and the men and women that represent the government have a duty and obligation to point you in that direction. And that's why they're getting away with everything, because they're escaping liability with no gain full disclosure.
It's not as if they're putting this information on the government website and then putting it out there on TV or on radio and saying, look, this is a document you need to look at. They're just putting it on there. They're not giving anybody disclosure that it's there. And if you happen to come across it, and it just so happened I came across this, I typed it in. You know, I can't remember what I initially typed in, and it came up with a load of things, and I went, what's that, human augmentation? This sounds kind of interesting to read, and that's what I came across. So again, you know, it's just the technologies in the future, which are going to be genetic engineering and brain-computer interface. And then when you look at that, you look at the patent, you type that in, go and have a look at it, people. It's there, it's in black and white. It's Microsoft that have made this application in 2020. So it's got Bill Gates' name all over it, effectively. And this is for a chip. This patent is for the chip that's going to be going into people's hands, so, or people's heads. You don't know where it's going to go. And I mean, this is just the front page of that document. That's right. And that's all you really need to look at, is the front page of that document. That's right, because the front page is always a brief description. And when you look at what's here, it's frightening. It's frightening that the government are actually putting this on the websites. What's even more frightening, Robert, is people aren't picking up on it.
No, I know.
And they're not seeing this.
Definitely
And basically what's happening is people are just living the life that they thought they had prior to the lockdowns before. They just think things are back to normal. Things are never going to get back to normal. The government's not going to try and fix this system when the government want the system broken. It's just an illusion to the people.
I know. The thing is, people, I hope that you're paying attention to this information. We try to give information pointing in the right direction, because we're diligent in what we do. It's important that you're diligent. Again, I'd like to thank Ritchie. Again, giving information. I'd like to thank the team that made this possible. And it's good to be back, and there'll be more videos coming up shortly. Again, please share this information, this video, as soon as you can when it goes up. And let's get it sorted. Let's get change.
Thanks very much for letting us be heard. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, people.